400 armed men marching in fury, ready to destroy everything in their path. At the center of it all, a reckless man's insult ignites chaos. But then, a single woman steps forward. Unarmed, fearless, and driven by wisdom, she stops a catastrophe with words alone. This is Abigail, the unsung hero whose quick thinking saved countless lives. But here's the question. If you were standing in her place, could you change the course of history? To understand Abigail's story, we need to step into the rugged terrain of ancient Israel. This was a time when tribal culture, honor, and survival ruled daily life. Hospitality wasn't just a nice gesture, it was a sacred duty, especially toward those in need. Violating that duty was a serious insult, one that could cost lives. Now, David wasn't just anyone. He was the anointed king of Israel, though not yet seated on the throne. At this point, he was leading a group of outcasts, warriors, and loyal followers while being hunted by King Saul. These were tough times. David's men were hungry, tired, and stretched thin. Then there's Nabal, a wealthy man with vast herds and resources, but an arrogant and harsh nature. His name literally means fool, and he lived up to it. Married to Nabal was Abigail, described as beautiful and intelligent, a sharp contrast to her husband. So, when David's men approached Nabal seeking provisions, politely I might add, Nabal's response was both insulting and dangerous. He dismissed David as a nobody and refused their request, essentially spitting in the face of a future king and a band of desperate men. This was no small slight. It was the spark that lit the fire of David's anger. David's reaction was immediate and intense. He ordered his men to arm themselves, vowing to destroy Nabal and every male in his household. You can feel the tension building here. Imagine 400 armed men marching toward your home, their leader burning with rage. This is where Abigail's story truly begins. News of Nabal's insult reached her quickly, and she wasted no time. Abigail knew what was at stake, not just the lives of her household, but also David's future. She understood something profound. Sometimes the bigger battle isn't fought with swords, but with wisdom and grace. Abigail sprang into action. She gathered an impressive offering: 200 loaves of bread, 2 skins of wine, 5 dressed sheep, roasted grain, cakes of figs, and raisins. This wasn't just a gesture. It was a peace offering designed to diffuse a volatile situation, and then, without consulting her husband, she rode out to meet David herself. Think about the courage that took. Abigail wasn't just riding into danger, she was stepping between an enraged warrior and his target. She was risking everything to save her family and her future. When Abigail finally met David, she didn't waste time with formalities. She dismounted, bowed low, and took full responsibility for Nabal's actions, even though she wasn't to blame. Abigail's words were masterful. She acknowledged Nabal's foolishness without dishonoring him outright, which could have escalated things further. Then she shifted the focus to David. Instead of pleading for her life, she appealed to his sense of justice and destiny. She reminded him that he was fighting the Lord's battles and that shedding innocent blood in anger could tarnish his legacy. Her words weren't just logical, they were deeply personal and spiritual. Listen to this line from 1 Samuel chapter 25:31. "Let this not be a cause of grief or a troubled heart to my Lord, both by having shed blood without cause, and by my Lord having avenged himself." Abigail wasn't just stopping a fight. She was helping David see the bigger picture. And it worked. David was moved by her wisdom and humility. He praised God for sending Abigail to him, acknowledging that her intervention had saved him from a grave mistake. David accepted her offering and turned back, leaving Abigail's household in peace. But the story doesn't end there. When Abigail returned home, she found Nabal drunk and completely oblivious to the disaster she had just averted. She waited until morning to tell him what had happened. When she did, the news struck Nabal so hard that he had a stroke, or perhaps a heart attack, and died 10 days later. Here's the twist. After Nabal's death, David sent for Abigail and made her his wife. What began as a life-or-death encounter turned into a new chapter in Abigail's life. Her wisdom not only saved her household, but also positioned her to walk alongside Israel's future king. Abigail's story is rich with lessons. First, her quick thinking reminds us of the power of acting decisively in a crisis. She didn't wait for someone else to step up. She took the initiative. Second, her humility and wisdom highlight the importance of communication. Abigail didn't meet force with force. She met it with reason and grace, showing us that words can be just as powerful as actions. Finally, her story challenges us to think about how we handle conflict. How often do we let anger cloud our judgment or pride stop us from seeking peace? Abigail shows us a better way, a way of courage, wisdom, and faith. Her actions echo through time, reminding us that one person with the right heart and the right words can change the course of history. What would you have done in Abigail's place? Could you have faced danger with the same level of courage and clarity? Abigail's story is one for the ages, a testament to the power of wisdom and grace in the face of overwhelming odds. If her actions inspire you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. How can we apply Abigail's lessons to our lives today? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about the Bible's unsung heroes. And if you know someone who could use a reminder of the power of words and actions, share this video with them. Until next time, may we all find the courage to be peacemakers in a world that desperately needs them. See you soon.